Definitely no. But can I shock you? I am a wanderer. A few years ago, my grandmother gave me the story of a man by the name Wepukulu. Wepukulu came from a small village in Kakamega, and he really wanted to go to Nairobi, the capital city of Kenya. He had heard so many stories about the amazing Nairobi, and he wanted to experience it for himself. So one time, one of his uncles had an errand to run in Nairobi. And guess who was the first person to show up? It was Wepukulu. The beauty of Nairobi really fascinated Wepukulu. He was amazed by the tall buildings that he saw in Nairobi. The amazing technology that was there, something that is not so common in his home Kakamega. Another amazing thing that startled him was the big flat screen TV that was in Kimani's house, the man that was hosting them. Wepukulu really enjoyed watching that TV and the delicious food that was being served in Kimani's house. So when it was time to go back home in Kakamega, Wepukulu opted to stay. So his uncle left and he was left in Kimani's house. But after some time, Kimani got tired of him because Wepukulu was not doing much other than enjoying the food and watching television. And that is where my grandmother ended the story. I was wondering how the story relates to me. But then later on, I got to understand the story. So, 6 years ago, if anyone told me I'd be where I am today, I am 150% sure that I'd not believe it. This is just like a fantasy. As you all know, nobody here got the opportunity of choosing where they'll be born or whom they'll be born to. We just found ourselves in the spaces that we were in. I was born and raised in Kibera. And anytime I mention the fact that I come from Kibera, the first thing that somebody would picture in mind is poverty, crime, hopelessness, school dropouts, and any sort of unfortunate things. But one thing that we forget is that places don't define people, but people define places. So I grew up in that environment, but my parents kept on telling me that one thing, the background that I have cannot determine the future that I'm going to get. It is the small choices that I'm going to make on a daily basis that will determine how my future will be. And so they supported all the dreams that I had. They supported me in everything that I was doing. And they told me one thing. One of my favorites, one of my father's popular pieces of advice was, msichana wangu, soma usikuwe kijakazi wa wajomba wako. Which means, my daughter, work so hard so that you will not be a slave to your uncles. So I saw my dad working so hard to make sure that there was something for me to eat. I saw my parents work so hard to take me to school because they knew one thing. There was something big ahead of me. And I wanted to be somebody in my community. I wanted to be someone. I didn't want people to identify me by the place that I'm coming from. I wanted people to identify me by the things that I do for my community. I wanted to be somebody big. Am I not big? And so, when I started school, I was very enthusiastic. I was very passionate and I loved reading. So the place that I come from, people don't use English that much. In fact, English was very revered. It was a very revered language, and it was only used by the few affluent people. So if you spoke English, people would literally salute you. I wanted people to look at me and admire me. So I was hungry for books. I read so many books. And I remember one of my teachers gave me the first books for my home library, Miss Adela. I really love her so much. And through my journey, I got teachers that held my hand. They held me, and they saw the value in me, even at times when I was not seeing it. So I did so well in my primary school. I got enrolled in a very good school in my country, but unfortunately my parents could not afford to pay my school fees. But I got support through an organization by the name Mirror of Hope. And the organization has been a family to me. I got friends in that place, and I got the opportunity of increasing my skills, my communication skills, my leadership skills. Fast forward, I completed my high school. But after high school, now this is where the rubber met the road. I had a tough decision to make. I was called to do a very good course to a very good school. But then two of my mentors, Veronica and Ngala, saw something great in me. So they told me about Ashesi. And they told me I can check through the website, and that time the applications were open, so maybe I can apply to it. But when they told me about Ashesi, I was not really so much into it, because I had never ever imagined myself coming to study in West Africa. Yes, I had wanted to go to study out of my country, but I had pictured myself going to countries in Europe, countries in Asia, countries in America. I had not pictured myself coming to Western Africa. I didn't picture myself coming to Ghana. I mean, Ghana. So, when I was doing my application, I got so many voices, so many people were telling me. And I'm sure that all of us have been in that situation. Because we just know that if you want to do well in life, you have to go outside Africa. That is what we have been made to believe. And it is so sad. So sad. So, I knew what I wanted in life. I knew the dreams that I had for myself. I got so many voices, so many people were telling me why I should not apply to Ashesi. Hey, what if you go there and then never come back home? What if you go there and come back and don't get employment because nobody knows about the school? What if you go there and then, you don't know anybody there? Actually, you can't even afford the school fees for that school, so why? Just don't go there. Just follow the path that has been laid out for you. Who loves going out of their comfort zones? I don't. It is not easy moving out of your comfort zones. And then there were so many voices that were telling me why I should not come to Ashesi. There were so many reasons as to why people were making me feel that, don't aim too high, don't be a dreamer, just, be realistic. That is what they were telling me. Because they thought that I was aiming too high that I can reach. So I did my application and it was successful. But now the problem was one. I was the first timer in almost a lot of things in my family. I was leaving my country for the first time. I was leaving my family for a long time for the first time. It would be my first time boarding a plane. And I'm coming to a country where I don't know the language they speak, I don't know the food they eat, I don't know how they dress, I don't know anything about their culture. I just knew that in Ghana they have gold and they grow cocoa. That is the little that I knew about Ghana. And about the food, I had seen some YouTube video about kelewele. I didn't know anything about Ghana. But now, coming to Ashesi has been an amazing experience for me. It has been a place where I have grown so much. Ashesi has amazing students. It has the most brilliant Africa. In fact, we call it the Harvard of Africa. Who is disagreeing? This is the Harvard of Africa. And this is the beauty of wanderers, people who choose to go beyond the societal expectations. I've gotten the opportunity of interacting with people from over 20 countries in Africa. Oh, let me give you something small. I wanted to go to Caltech, California Institute of Technology. But I believe that Ashesi has pushed me closer to my dream. Because I'm getting the feeling of being outside home. I'm getting the feeling of diversity, such that when I'm going there in future, I'm not just representing Kenya, but I'm representing Africa. And coming to Ashesi has broadened my thinking capacity. It has increased my critical thinking skills. I've had to think on my feet. I have seen people who are so much passionate about impacting change in their community. And that has inspired me every day. It has inspired me to come out of my shell. It has inspired me to keep developing myself and my skills every day. Wanderers get the opportunity of seeing things that people who go on planned trips don't get to experience. Can I give you a secret? If you want to enjoy a trip, go to an unplanned trip. You know, when you plan a trip, I'm coming from point A, I'm going to point B, and then I'm going to point C, and then I go back home. But for wanderers, they get the opportunity of seeing what is in between A and B. They go through the space. They experience, they see a lot of things that the person who's gone directly from A to B did not get to experience. Wanderers are discoverers. Wanderers are inventors. Wanderers are innovators. I want you to look at this room. Look at yourself, the way you're dressing. Had it not been for wanderers, we would not be here. Probably right now I'd be dressed in maybe the cow skin or something. I'd now be a mother of maybe 15 children, married, and my life would just be basically, eating, giving birth, and, But because we got people that, imagine, what if we had clothes? We have people that invented, there's so many things that we have here. Let me highlight one of my favorite wanderers, Thomas Edison. The one who invented the light bulb. How many times did he try? 1,000 times. That is crazy. And I'm sure when he was trying to come up with a bulb, there were so many people who were telling him, Tommy, you know what, you can't do this. You've tried this 100 times, it has not worked. Just stop, just stop. Nobody has made something like this before, so, just go on with what you found going on. But he was persistent. And that is why right now we are enjoying this light bulb. The watch you're wearing, the phone that you're using, it was somebody who thought, what if we had another means of communication other than face-to-face? It was somebody who thought beyond the norm. Now tell me, are wanderers really lost? Can you really say wanderers are lost? No, they're not lost. So many times, we are scared of making decisions because maybe you feel like, what if I fail? Nobody said coming out of your comfort zone is going to be easy. You're going to make mistakes, but the beauty of it is that from those mistakes that you're going to make, you're going to learn something. If you don't try, there is no way you're going to grow. You're going to be stuck in one place. I want to encourage each and everyone in this room. If you have been reluctant of taking a step because you feel like it is going to change your life, take that step. You don't know, maybe that step will be the one that will open windows, if not doors, for opportunities that will bring a tremendous change in your life. Don't be scared. Don't be scared of making mistakes. Henry Miller once said that one's destination is not a place, but a new way of seeing things. You may make a mistake, you may not get to where you wanted to be, but for sure, you will learn something. You learn something through that step that you took. And that step that you take will push you closer and closer and even further than where you had seen yourself going to. You see, the opportunity the step that I make has made a difference between me and my friends that were scared of applying to Ashesi because it's in Africa. They don't know what is here. They don't know the opportunities that are in this school. They don't know what they would have experienced if they took the risk. So I want all of you to know one thing. There's something beautiful that you can get from the mistakes that you make throughout your journey of discovering yourself. People will tell you so many things. People will always talk. But what really matters is what is within you. What do you want for yourself? What do you want for yourself? I'm going to leave you with a quote by Laura Hoffman, which says, "Relax. Your unexpected detour could lead you to unexpected beauty that you had otherwise missed."